So before I get started with my table, I needed something very special for my dining room. So let me show you what I did. A fun little DIY with this picture. So be sure you watch that first, and then you'll see how I use it in my tablescape. I want to thank the lovely ladies from the Decor Lovers. This month's host is Leeny from Leeny's World, and her lovely co-hosts are Nadia at Coffee with Nadia, Tamara at Love My Babies Forever, Stephanie at Creatively Miss Me with Stephanie, Tammy, Glam Queen of Decor, and Devin, Freckled Mom at Home, or also known as Freckle Mom DIY. Thank you, ladies, for having this open invitation so that we could all participate in your fun collaboration. Please be sure to check out the link to the playlist in the description below and check out all the other people who participated, like me, a happy hoarder. If you're familiar with my channel, then nothing I do will surprise you. But if you're new, I do tend to do stuff a little bit on the dark side, especially around Halloween. So I found that lovely little picture and I added some Liquitex to create a surface I could draw on, because I'm going to be using charcoal and white charcoal and some pastels. So this gave it a really rough texture, which gives it some tooth. Because it was just a print on cardboard, the charcoal and pastels would not stick to it, and this way it will stick. I would be honest with you here, it took me a lot longer than the time it took me to video this. I just wanted to kind of do the basics. Then I got a little bit pickier as I went along, and it got darker, so it's harder to video. So what I'm doing here is just picking out my basics, what I want to be dark, and just drawing over it. And that's all it basically was, taking the original drawing and drawing over it with charcoal. I am really not very good at videoing and drawing because I didn't have my stuff set up. I didn't think this was going to be that long of a process, but I think you'll get a basic idea. This is fun, everybody. You will really enjoy doing this. So if you're ever at a thrift store and you see this really crazy picture, grab it and draw over it. Think about this for next year, because you never know when a picture like this is going to pop up at a thrift store or a garage sale that you can redo. Now, I have seen some amazing artworks done on this type of recycled art, and I have seen everything from Godzilla to T-Rexes to all sorts of scenes painted on cardboard that is from a famous painting like this. So check them out and enjoy. I do want to tell you that between different layers I did have to spray with Mr. Super Clear a few times. Now, part of this was because it was difficult to build up the good white, and what I eventually found out was I had to go get the good stuff. Using just a white charcoal is basically what this is from a drawing kit. I could only build it up so much, even though I was putting Mr. Super Clear on in between. But what really worked was when I went back to my Prismacolor white, that definitely stuck well, and it gave a nice enough white that I got that zombie-like appearance. I wasn't trying to do her in black and white. I was just trying to wash out her skin tones and then using the black to give her some really dark details. Unfortunately, I had not given the Liquitex enough time to actually cure to the cardboard, and as a result I got a couple of chips in it, and you can see one on the lower part of her ear, so I kind of had to work around that. Once I added the coating of the Mr. Super Clear, then I was able to work on it again. Yeah, it's always good to let things dry in between coats. What I'm doing is just adding a lot of shading, and I do have my kneaded eraser. And I also have my bristle brushes that is normally an oil painting brush. It gives me that nice firmer bristles. I am going back and forth between charcoal, white charcoal. I also have some stick charcoal, and it was just white. So I have a lot of different pieces of charcoal, and I even have chalk, but the chalk wasn't working at all. It just wasn't sticking. So eventually you'll see her get darker and darker, and her background get darker. I add a lot more to her clothing and her hands, which were a lot more challenging than I thought they would be. They were kind of weird hands to begin with, so I just had to work with what I had. So I was having a little challenge here and there with that nose, because the same thing that happened with the ear happened to the nose. I got just a little chip on it on the Liquitex, and then I was trying to work around that, and it actually was a pretty good chip. It took it all the way down to the cardboard, and so I was spraying it and redoing this. Oh my goodness, my life is so crazy. But yeah, I kept working. I wasn't going to give it up. Now, one thing I did do, I wanted to give her what's called the Glasgow smile. If you don't know what that is, it's just like a really horrible thing. But it's where they take someone and like cut their mouths open, like, are you so serious kind of thing. So I did that, and because I wanted her extra creepy. So yeah, that was fun, and I played with her a long time. Do get a little obsessed with doing these kind of things because I just know what I want it to look like. And sometimes it doesn't look like that the first time, but I will tell you this. You will enjoy doing this just with the basics and just brighten her up, make her pale, and by adding the black, that's just a huge difference. I just got a little artsy on it and started having a little bit more fun. So I'm going to let y'all enjoy this to some music because there's not much more I can say except I'm going to get around to doing the frame in a minute, so you'll have to stick around for that.
Perfect.
Now don't forget, there is a table setting coming up. That's what this real video is about. I wanted to do a finish on her frame that was going to give it some shine and keep it kind of flat as well. So what I did is I got both a Brilliant paint by Plaid and also Apple Barrel's flat black, or just a regular black, which was going to give me a little flatter color. So I touched up some of it with the black around the frame, and I came back with the glossy black, and then that gave it more of a sheen in the areas. So it just gave a little bit more dimension, especially that it had the wood grain. I did a dry brush over the wood grain, and it really made that pop. So that was a lot of fun, and I really liked the effect. So at least I got that part right. Now here she is in her final reveal. Actually, not her final. I didn't like her ears. I went back and redid her ears. So those ears are just huge, and I'm like, I don't know, they're just popping out, like making too much of a statement. Here she is compared to the original, and a little bit of a different angle from the way I took the picture. But then I did have to go back and make her ears a little smaller and a little less noticeable, because believe me, I would have drawn on those ears forever. But I'm really happy with how she turned out. And in my lighting in my dining room, she really pops with these Halloween colors. I love her. I love the oranges. I could not have picked out a better picture to do this to. She was amazing. You can see how the ears changed just a little bit here. So the frame, now you can see how the shiny black kind of highlighted here and there. You still have that really old distressed black, but then I have that pop of gloss, and it really helped it. It just gave it some more personality. So this does look really awesome. It is just hanging on a hook that hangs, actually another picture hangs on, and I just have it hanging by a string. The actual thread that I'm using is it's for a fishing line for like deep sea fishing, heavy duty stuff. But it's black and it's Kevlar, I believe. So yes, really tough. So here she is in my dining room. And yeah, and she just has a special place on the windows. Nothing in my house lines up, by the way. So here's my dining room table. Yes, I know this video is supposed to be about a dining room table, and here it is. So my mom gave me these really cool spider creepy candle holders, which she gave me too. So those went on the host and hostess ends of the table. I also was going to make these like pumpkin things, and then I thought I was a little bit creepier, and I remembered I had those glitter pumpkins and spiders and bats and things like that I got at Rolling Hills Ministry. By the way, most of my table is thrifted, and a lot of things on my table has been recycled from a previous video. But what I did do, and I really wanted to do my DIY in another video, were those chargers. Those were a DIY project for another day though, and they're kind of fun. So I'm using my good china. Yeah, I thought that would be really fun with this. So to add a little extra bling to my Halloween decorations, I used the Dollar Tree glitter fingernail polish to highlight the eyes and teeth and stems. Now, when I set the glitter things down on my china, I went, I'm really worried about these things shedding glitter everywhere. So I sprayed them with a Mod Podge spray that was a gloss. They're not really shedding glitter, but it still kind of bothered me. So I decided to just set them on a little paper napkin just in case. So that way you could just slide it off and not get glitter on your food. But I used some other steps that I have pulled out, just weird things that I have thrifted, found a bunch of random candles to put out, definitely found a new use for my skeletons. Another DIY project from a previous video, and then of course my skulls from the Dollar Tree, another DIY project. I just love my can of spray paint. By the way, is all used up now. I loved it that much, but I love my little spitty spray that was creating all these special effects. You'll have to check that in another video. But anyway, not only did I decorate my table, I had some decorations already out for previous decor, so I just incorporated a few new things into that, made a couple of changes, and just had fun with that. So that's kind of what's going on in the background, but I did light my candles everywhere this time. In fact, I was getting a little bit worried I was going to catch my house on fire. Lots and lots of candles. So here it is, all lit up in its lovely glory, and I'll let you watch the rest of this to some really cool music. Oh, and the treat tonight? Johnny's Pizza leftovers. What can I say? be sure you check out that playlist in the link below. You are going to want to see all of these great videos. Thanks again, ladies, from the Decor Lovers. I am so glad you put this together because I needed another chance to enjoy my Halloween decorations before the whole Thanksgiving thing starts up, and then Christmas. So thanks for that, ladies. Thank you for watching, and please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. I go live on Tuesdays at 2 and Thursdays at 6:30. And also pop in every now and then with some great challenges like these. So please hit that notification button because sometimes I make pretty good videos. Bye!